Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Scout Class Sunspot. So here he is, and first we'll take a quick look at the box. So you have the box. On the front you got a picture of Sunspot, you have his name, you have his faction, and an embossed version of his faction there. It says he's a Scout Class. It says Transformers. And yes, I paid $20, 20 Canadian dollars for this thing, which is quite a lot of money for a Scout Class. But anyway, on the back you have a picture of Sunspot and Oil Pan, and I probably will get Oil Pan at TFCon this year. But that's about it for the box. So here's the toy, and I have to say right now, it's my favorite figure of this scale. Scout Class or Legends Class, like the new Legends Class. I love this figure. This is a really, really nice figure. Not a lot of undercarriage for an airplane, just a little bit. And the wingspan is just amazing. It's a ruler. I have a ruler that only measures in millimeters, but from wingtip to wingtip, he's about 15.5 centimeters long. So a 15.5 centimeter wingspan. That's about the size of most deluxes nowadays. Like here. He's bigger than Bisque. So he's got quite an impressive wingspan. And he is modeled after one of those military drones that you never see ever because it's a military drone. But anyways, getting a closer look at the details here. A lot of nice sculpted detail throughout. You got some silver paint up here for the drone eye and the actual drone eye itself. I do love how that actually is the head incorporated into the drone eye. I think that's pretty cool. And you have some nice panel lining detail going throughout. I wish they had like actually lined it, but I could probably go out and buy a fine tip pen and line it myself if I wanted to. You got some nice Decepticon symbols tampographed on the back there. You do have some nice orange paint throughout, and it looks very clean. Like, yes, there's a little bit of like mistakes going through the paint job, but especially on this side, there's none at all. Like, the paint is pretty clean all throughout. You got some more on the front here. You got whatever those things are. I'm not an airplane expert or a drone expert, so I don't know what these things are. Now, you'll notice that these colored yellow are different from the rest of the colored yellow because that's cast yellow plastic. See, it's all down here as well. And this is painted. So they can't always get the paints matched perfectly, but oh well. Now, he does have one fold-out landing gear, which has a rolling wheel, and he can roll surprisingly well for only having one landing gear. But it can fold up, and it makes no difference. But yeah, that's basically Sunspot here. So for comparison, here he is with the other Scout Class figure I've reviewed. There's what's his name? Firetrap. And they're about the same length, but wingspan wise, he's still a lot bigger. And here he is next to an old Legends Class figure. This is the Takara version of Generations Legends Brawn. And as you can see, he's quite a lot bigger than... Oh, he fell off. He's quite a lot bigger than Legends Class Brawn. Here he is next to the new rebooted Legends Warpath. So you can get a sense of how he scales there. He's a lot bigger. Here he is next to the most recent size of Legends figures. There's Rewind. And here he is next to another Legends airplane that we got last year, I believe. Well, this mold was released a couple years ago. And as you can see, this plane, a lot better than this plane. I mean, the wingspan on it's just massive. Look at that. And here he is next to a deluxe airplane. And again, his wingspan is a lot bigger than this guy's wingspan, as you can clearly tell there. And here he is next to Revenge of the Fallen, Voyager Mind Wipe. Now, there's a reason why I have Voyager Mind Wipe here. Now, if you own this mold, or you own this mold, or you own both, you guys already know how this works. But if you don't, so this is a repaint of a repaint. This was originally repainted. This was originally painted black. Forget his name, so don't ask me what his name was. But that figure was then repainted into a blue figure. Don't know what that guy's name was. Then it was repainted into this figure. Now, the black one and the blue one can combine with the Mind Wipe mold, because there was Mind Wipe, and there was Strafe, who was also blue. And they could combine. I don't know if there's a yellow version of this guy, but I'll show you how this mold can incorporate into this mold. So what you want to do is just fold the landing gear down. And there are these two pegs right here and two ports right up top here. You just want to take it and peg it in. And that's really it. And that looks ridiculous. I mean, I bet you in black it would look so much better. But right now, this looks ridiculous. I don't understand why they did this, but they did, and it looks ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen pictures of a stealth fighter jet with a drone on top. Does hold in nice and securely though, like that's not falling off. But I don't know why this exists. Why do you exist? Why? This makes no sense. Anyway. Getting Mind Wipe out of the way here. Don't fall apart on me. Now, this guy does have an official third mode, so let's get to that right now. The first thing you want to do is you want to just come under here and pop these sections down, fold out the feet, and you fold them out to your click, like that. So, you know, the feet are folded all the way forward, just like so. And then you can stand him up. And he has an official, oh, he's not standing properly. He has an official Gerwalk mode. That's a thing. It's a thing you can do to this toy. For some reason, they made it official like they did on Whirl. Yeah, I don't know why this exists, but it does. Just for the sake of it doing so. This is weird, but okay, let's get him onto his robot mode, shall we? So you just want to straighten the legs out the rest of the way. Just like that. Make sure the feet are clipped forward. Then you want to take the wings, and they're slotted in right there. So you just want to slot them out and slot them out, just like so. And you want to come back here, the back side, and split the back end of the airplane here, just like so. Get those tabs out of there. Then you want to take the nose cone and fold it down. It'll also push his head up. Now you can bring the arms up on that hinge right there. So you bring it up all the way. Just like that. Flip him around. You can get him standing. Stand up. There we go. You want to take the arms and rotate all the stuff so that nothing bangs into it, everything else. I like to fold the wings back just to get them out of the way. Rotate the arms 90 degrees, just like so. Now there's a hinge right there. You want to fold the neck up on that hinge and then fold the head forward on the ball joint. And there you have Sunspot in his robot mode. And this thing is really cool. I really like this mold a lot. Now this was one of the things I had on my list of stuff to buy from TFCon this year, because I make a list so that I can budget. And this mold, well, the black version, was on my list of things to get. But I went to Toys at Von Mills, and I found this guy, and Insecticon. I didn't buy Insecticon because I don't think it's worth $20, but I felt like these two were. So I picked up this mold, and it is my favorite figure of, you know, this size class. It's my favorite figure of the Legend Scout size class. And I would highly recommend anyone pick this dude up. But there is one issue I will point out right now. Well, there's two issues, actually. There's one issue I'll point out right now. And a lot of people don't like this. But for this figure, this function works. If you notice, watch his feet. When I pick him up, he has the dreaded spring-loaded feet. Now, a lot of people don't like spring-loaded feet because the one figure that I think ruined spring-loaded feet for everyone was the first movie, Voyager Megatron. And I used to have that toy, and I hated it because the spring-loaded feet were so bad he would never stand up. You'd put him down, his spring-loaded feet will pop up, and he'd fall backwards. And that was the most annoying thing in the world, so I sold it. I kind of regret it though, because the toy was good, the feet were bad. That was the only issue with the toy. But this guy, he has, the springs are nice and weak, so he has enough weight on top to hold the feet down. And I think that was Megatron's problem, was the springs were too strong for the actual toy, and he would just fall over. This one though, I can say with confidence that his spring-loaded feet, I can just take him and drop him, and he'll stay. His feet are fine. The springs are great. They're not very strong. They're not very big either, so I think the spring-loaded feet's fine on this guy. So, for articulation, the head is on a ball joint and a disc hinge, so you can get some nice range of motion there. Not a lot of neck pivot, just a little bit. But I mean, if you like tilt his head even slightly, it would look creepy because of that one eye. The arms are on ball joints, they can do a full 360, they can go out. The wings are on a ball joint and a hinge, so they can move wherever you want them to. His elbows are also on a ball joint, so he has a bicep swivel. No wrist articulation, which kind of sucks. No waist joint either. That's just due to how everything folds in there. So I can forgive it. Hips are on a ball joint, but you also get a dedicated thigh swivel, which is nice. His knees bend all the way that way, or if you want to make him look chicken legged, you can do so, which is nice. The knees are like out here, so you can do that for girl walk mode and normal robot mode. You can have knee pose ability. And his feet are spring loaded, so don't even bother trying to move them. So yeah, getting close here on the head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. I could see this being repainted as like a Shockwave or something. But yeah, very cool head sculpt. You got the very Transformer-like ears and the one eye. Then going down, you got some nice red detail going throughout the figure here. You got that same cast yellow. You got his hands in there. They're molded gray plastic. But they do have some nice molded detail. The wings, the bottom of the wings are nicely molded. You got the VTOLs right there. Some pipes, some more tech detail. The legs, you got some nice molding in the legs there. His legs are quite like weird looking when you get here because there's a post sticking out the back, but that's okay. Then his feet, I love the way his feet are molded. They look really cool. And then you got a heel. And here's looking at the back of the figure. It's basically just kibble. But yeah, stand up. There we go. Now, for weapons, he does have two battle axes. Now, this is where my second issue comes into play. The battle axes are right here. They just pop out of the wings. Like so. And just like so. Now, I forget which one it is, so bear with me for a second. It is this one. Okay. So, you see how on the battle axes, there's a tab here, and then where's the second tab? So there's a tab there. There's a second tab somewhere. I forget where it is off the top of my head. You can probably see it, and I'm probably blind as a bat. There's a tab there, and that is to help it stay in the wing. Well, this one, if you can't really tell, the tab has sort of started shearing off. And that's not good. So be careful with these things. But other than that, those are the only two real issues I have with this toy. These do use the 3mm clip system, but not for this figure. For this figure, there's a port in his hands. So you just peg that into the hand, like so, and you can wield his very awkward looking battle axes. Come on. There we go. So now he's ready to do battle with some good guys and kill them. My camera is moving because my charge cable is making it move. There we go. Stop moving, camera. I believe in you. There we go. So yeah, that's basically him. So for comparison, here he is with Skydive. And Skydive is a whole like head and a half taller because he's a deluxe, but there's your sense of scale there with a modern day deluxe. Here he is next to a modern day Legends. He's way taller than a modern day Legends figure, which is surprising. Here he is next to Skywarp. So airplane to airplane. Here you have Warpath. Here's Braun, the old scale Legends figures. Can't speak English. They still use this size class for the RID figures, but yeah, I don't like this Legend scale that much. This scale is a lot better. Here he is next to his mold counterpart, Mindwipe, and Mindwipe obviously is bigger, but they do fit the aesthetic of each other. They're all like spindly and like techno-y with all this weird stuff hanging off of them and wings and whatnot, and yeah. So overall, this figure is quite nice. That's not in shot. There we go. This figure is quite nice. I would highly recommend anyone pick this up. If you're a fan of the movie line, if you're a fan of the Scout line, if you're a fan of the new Legends class figures, I knocked them over. You should totally pick this dude up. I mean, there are 3 different versions, well, 3 different versions that I know of. This one, a blue one, and a black one. And pick any of them up. They're really, really good. I mean, is it worth the $20 I paid? I'd say yes. And $20 is how much one of these go for nowadays. So is it worth the price you pay for this? Yes. So definitely pick one of these up. So that has been my look at the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Scout Class Sunspot. That's a lot of S's. And I'm that toy guy, and stay tuned for my next video.